One of the key principles to successful procurement is to carefully weigh all of the factors that are relevant to a good purchasing decision, not to simply become obsessed with the absolute lowest upfront cost. So the concept of total cost, such as is invoked in this particular problem, is a good example of how you might calculate that. Let's take a look. You are reviewing a tender evaluation that is to be awarded on lowest total price. The bid evaluation is as follows. Okay, so we have 3 bids because I see there's 3 companies, and it says capital cost. So this is the upfront cost that each of the 3 is quoting. But in this particular problem, we also want to weigh maintenance and disposal. Oh, and notice that, well, disposal, 5% of capital cost, that's the same for each of these 3 candidates, but maintenance is not. It's implying, oh, before we pick, we need to think that, for instance, whatever company C is offering, notice how the percent of capital cost that is maintenance is higher than company A, that we believe that what they will provide us, even though it's a lot cheaper up front, we're going to wind up paying proportionally a lot more in upkeep. Well, maybe it's cheap enough though up front that that's what we want to do. Okay, so how do we pick between these 3? Let's see. Company A. It's just logic, really. There's an upfront cost of $7,500. There is the issue of maintenance, which we believe is going to be 20% of that cost. Okay, fine. Maintenance will be 0.2, 20% of $7,500. And then we want to take into account disposal, proper disposal. That's going to be 5% of the capital cost, which for company A's bid is $7,500. I just add these up. This is the so-called total cost. I get $9,375. Oh, as opposed to, now I'm trying to pick between these, I just want to repeat this process. Company B, lower capital cost, lower upfront cost, $6,700. Somewhat higher proportion of maintenance, so 0.25 times 6,700 plus 5% of that same 6,700 for disposal. Add that up, I get 8,710. Oh, and remember, we're looking for the lowest cost. So right away I see that I do, even despite the higher proportion of maintenance, I do prefer the bid from company B to that from company A. It's got a lower cost. C, if you were just looking at the upfront cost, would be the attractive bid, company C, because it's got the lowest upfront capital cost. Okay, $6,500. But it does have a higher proportion of maintenance, 0.3 times that 6,500 plus 0.05 times that 6,500 for disposal. What does that all add up to? I get 8,775. Now, we're trying to answer the question, to which company should this contract be awarded? You're looking for the smallest number, you're looking for the lowest cost, and we see here that it's company B. That is the answer. Company B. Why? Lowest total cost. Notice company B is not the one with the lowest capital cost, which would be like the upfront cost to buy this, but it is the one with the lowest total cost. The next problem after this one is another example of trying to fairly compare opportunities based on more than one attribute. Let's take a look. You are analyzing bids from 2 companies. Okay, there's a company A here and it looks like a company B, but only 2 bids. What are we told? Company A has scored 85 points on a quality evaluation out of a scale of 100 points, while company B has scored 95 points. Okay. The overall weighting of your company uses 60% for price, right, the cost they're asking, and 40% for quality. Oh, before we go any further, because then it's got some more real specific information, I think I just want to take some notes before I lose the thread. There's two companies here, unlike last time. Company A and Company B. And there's two different attributes that we want to look at simultaneously. And the first one's been scored, quality. So the only thing I'm doing is taking notes. That was that business about 85 versus 95. So company B's been scored higher for quality. Okay, fine. Oh, and I'm told that price actually counts for more. That's going to be 60% versus quality is going to be 40%. I'm just taking notes again. Now wait, this is where I quit on it and I need to continue. To translate quality into dollar amounts to compare with price, each point not earned in the quality evaluation is considered equal to $200. Oh, all right, now I need to focus, because what we're doing is inverting the scale. Each point not earned on the quality evaluation is considered worth $200. So I actually could do that conversion right here. This is the score, right? But that means that if you want to translate this into a dollar amount that reflects a cost, first off, you want to basically reverse it. Each point not earned, okay, that'd be 100 minus 85. It's like a penalty. Is considered worth $200. It's a penalty of $200 in essence. Okay, that's like 3,000. Because that's 15 times 200. All right, okay, 3,000. There's this score, this factor for quality concerning company A of 3,000 versus here. Let me just repeat that process. Oh, well, I could have done that in my head. There are 5 points that they didn't earn for quality. Like a 200-point penalty for each, but that is right. They have better quality. So notice that that's a lower score, because now we're kind of turning it into a penalty or a cost. Okay, fine. That's 1,000. Now, that means that we're through to here. What else are we told? Assuming the company A has just finalized its bid. Its bid, that's the price. Okay, we have something to fill in here at 10,000. That's that right there. What is the maximum price in whole dollars that company B could bid to win this contract? It's asking for that. Okay, it's asking for that. That's the one thing that we're not given is, okay, fine, the price on company B. What did they bid? It's saying what's the most that they could bid and win this? Well, in order to bid and win this, they would have to come out with a better score. Now wait, a score? Yeah, a score, because this problem is saying that we're not just going to look at the price, 10,000 versus something else, some other price. We're going to look at the price mixed with the quality. Oh, and a very certain mix. That was that business about, okay, well, the price that the company's asking will be worth 60%, and then the quality penalty will be 40%. Oh, we need to calculate the score that company B needs to beat. You said the score that company B needs to beat? Yes, company A's score. We actually, the whole top part of this table is filled out. We have enough to calculate company A's weighted score. So a little bit of scratch work. Company A, there's that 10,000. That's their price. But that's only 60% of it. Plus, there's this 3,000 times 0.4. Okay. I get, on my calculator, 7,200. For company A. Now I'm tempted to put a dollar sign in front of that, because the 10,000 was in dollars, and it said something about originally when we calculated the 3,000 that it was based on the fact that every point not earned was considered worth $200. But that would be deceptive, Because this 7,200 is not actually like the total cost of Company A's bid. It's really a score. It's a score in which their actual cost is 60% of it, plus what we did was we changed the more intuitive 100-point scale for quality, original information, to something that will mix, a relevant mix, into the $10,000. So we had like a quality penalty, and then that's worth 40%. At any rate, what we have is a number that Company B needs to beat if they're going to get the contract. Now, the one thing that we know about Company B is that their quality's better, so they're only right now carrying a penalty of $1,000, and that's worth 40%. But we don't know what the price is. But we need to determine what price they should ask such that they actually win this competition. That means that if we were calculating the score for Company A, or excuse me, Company B, what am I talking about? We did Company A. Company B. We would say, well, we don't know the price, right? So I'm just going to put an X there, but we know that it would be multiplied by 0.6 because that's the methodology that's being used here. And then we do know the penalty for quality. That's the 1,000 in the case of Company B times the same 0.4 that we used last time. Okay, now wait, that's how you would calculate their score. They need to beat this score, which means that whatever number they put here, their asking price, needs to be less than or equal to, actually ideally less than, 7,200, Company A score. Really, arguably, actually less than, because if it's exactly equal, well, then we would be indifferent. But at any rate, what is this price? What's the tipping point here? I think we can just solve for it because the price is the only thing here that's not known. Okay, let me think. We're looking for, when you're saying some mysterious number times 0.6, when is it less than or equal to, depending how you interpret it. Let's see, that turns out to be 400, 1,000 times 0.4. So if you subtracted that from both sides, this over here would become 6,800, which means that you could say that x less than or equal to, divide both sides by 0.6. 6,800 divided by 0.6 comes out to, on the calculator, 11,333 in whole numbers. It's actually 11,333 and a third. Now, is that the answer? Well, actually, that depends on how you argue this. If you count the 33 cents that are on the calculator, if they asked $11,333, they would just barely earn this. But to be safe, this is whole dollar amounts, you could report 11,332. You could go one less. It depends on how you interpret the decimal places. But that then is the maximum that they could ask, because if they went any further than that, then they would tip over and their overall resulting score would be more than 7,200, which means that they would no longer be winning the competition. Notice that this is a dollar amount. Unlike those scores, that's an amount that they could bid. Notice that that is higher than Company B's current bid. Why? Because we're not deciding solely on just the bid, the price. We're deciding on the price mixed with the quality. Right, and Company B was the company that had better quality, and that's actually where you can see that they could bid a little bit more, actually, their asking price, and still win this contract.